No disrespect, but it was just a total mismatch.
I was disappointed. Berinchyck's performance.
What we were saying was Keyshawn ready?
I mean, I gave Berinchyk the first round, but it was basically close.
Them body shots were fantastic.
Catterall, Barboza JR.
Firstly, I had Barboza winning.
He did a little bit at the beginning and then just ran.
Oh, Catterall really disappointed me.
I don't think stylistically, this was a great matchup, as we said.
That was his chance.
Welcome back to Boxcast. Today we're going to look back at the fights over the weekend, starting with Dennis Berinchyk and Keyshawn Davis for the WBO World Lightweight Championship that Dennis Berinchyk held. I was disappointed Berinchyck's performance. So do you think that's because Keyshawn was that good? Or because the thing that was the size difference, because he looked like he just got bullied from the beginning.
He did.
I mean, I gave Berinchyk the first round, but it was basically close, only because I think he landed a few more jabs. And then second round was, I think Keyshawn got into it more, again, fairly close. And then third round, he knocked him down. Fourth round, he KO'd him. You know, I think we were predicting a harder fight. I think I had it on points, and you had it on like ninth round KO or something.
Yeah, I think
or 10th round.
I think what we were saying was Keyshawn ready?
Yeah.
Oh,
and what do you think the answer to that is?
Yeah, he absolutely smoked him. His body shots were fantastic. His in and out work was fantastic. Smooth, fantastic footwork, great hand speed. Just everything was perfect.
He didn't even look like he broke a sweat.
And I think he went in without fear.
Yeah, he looked pretty confident and calm, which I like. It's the sort of mark of a champion. A world champion.
What, 13th fight?
Yeah, I think so. It's his 13th win, isn't it?
This guy could be a superstar. But look, Berinchyk, he's a good fighter. Yes, he's 36, but he is a good fighter.
Well, he's unbeaten till that point.
But he was made to look like
I don't think he's ever been down.
Let's be honest.
In professional career.
He was made to look like a journeyman in there.
Yeah. I said.
No disrespect, but it was just a total mismatch.
Well, if you think how good Emmanuel Navarrete is, and then he gave him a contest and beat him, all right, split decision, it was close, but still, Navarrete is a proper boxer, and the difference, the gulf in class basically was huge. Yeah, considering how much they went in and gave, and then I was going to look at, because I was going to say the size difference was huge for me, but Berinchyks always fought around this weight. I think he's even been super lightweight, and then he's gone down to lightweight.
You know, Keyshawn's 2 inches taller.
He's got one of those huge reach as well.
Yeah, it's
78
centimetre reach, which is like 8 centimetres more.
Yeah, he's been around this weight as well. So they're not like, I thought Berinchyk might have moved up, because I was thinking, I don't remember that, but I've just want to check now. He's always been at that weight? He just looked tiny and like
he is small.
Underpowered.
He's only 5'7", isn't he?
No, but I mean, usually the small ones are like, you like Isaac Cruz, they're stocky. He didn't look small in his other fights. He just looked small here. Like whether that's Keyshawn being big or him being small. Keyshawn is tall and he's got range, but everything he just got bullied. And
he's
and we expected him to box, but like didn't really do. He
just couldn't
get going.
Them body shots were fantastic, perfectly placed body shots. So you can't recover from them. You just can't. You can't put muscle on there. You can't.
Well, there's nothing you can do when they're that good.
No.
Well, the first one I thought he was always halfway down because he was sort of low down, and he hit him. I thought, all right, it is a knockdown, but it's a bit. I didn't think it'd do that much, but you see, like you said, it's done a bit of. There's accumulated up because the fourth round one, he was just when he went down there, I thought he's not getting up now.
It's very rare you get up from body shots. There's only a few people I've seen get up from body shots.
Yeah.
They're just the worst. And Keyshawn targeted the body, saw he was weak there, and kudos to him. He's the champion.
Yeah, deservedly so. I mean, on that performance,
He goes on to bigger things. And he's only had 13 fights in the pro ranks.
Well, he's just behind in it. Loma's number 1 in it, and there's, what's the other guy's name? The old guy, Sprite or something, who won it in 12. They become world champion. He's 13, and I think there's Oscar De La Hoya is somewhere in there. The least fights to be kept.
You know, Keyshawn Davis
to be a lightweight world champion.
Yeah, Keyshawn Davis is 25. He's got 10 years left.
Well, if you look how much he's got better. Because we've seen one of his and he was disappointing, and then obviously his last against Lemos, he was quite good.
Yeah, but I told you,
and then this one was, I would say, even better than the Lemos.
Yeah, I think if you put the opponent in front of him, this guy performs. I didn't think he'd perform that well. Like I said, I thought it'd stop him in around the 9th. But I still had me concerns whether he was good enough. He's answered all them questions.
Yeah, I wouldn't be worried about, because he's not going to fight Shakur, because they've said they're not going to fight. So he's called out Tank Davis, I think, isn't he? And Loma, if he's going to come back, but Tank Davis is the main one.
Why not? Go for it.
I think so. On that performance, I think he's... Yeah.
You know, he's most probably not going to get them next. But, like I say, the problem with him is, I think, if you give him a lesser opponent, he drops down levels. Whereas if you give him...
Well, I think he needs there's a bit of experience still to be gained. I think he needs to know to be
obviously
level against them. But yeah, I mean, there are other good fighters in that division, so it's not like there's a shortage of people he can pick up. So I mean, the mandatory in his would be like Murataya. So obviously,
yeah, that's not a bad fight. Bad fight.
Who have you got around here? Because Murataya is like nearly the mandatory in most of them. Tank Davis side. Well, he's fighting his, isn't it? Schofield. So
Davis could get the winner. He really could get the winner.
I mean, yeah, that's quite a stacked division. So there's a lot of people you can fight in and around it, and yeah, then get one of those, then unify. There's Cepeda as well, isn't it? Who's a tough fight. Tank Davis, Loma, Murataya.
Loma's retired.
Cruz. Yeah, well, that's why they're saying I think he did less, is whether he's going to come back then, obviously, if not.
I don't think Loma
But there's a belt there if he doesn't come back.
I don't think Loma would go near him. I don't
think Loma comes back till somebody's got like 3 of the belts, and then he'll just have one fight and that's it. Win or lose. So Tank is probably the more likely. What do you think against Tank? Tank's probably got a bit more pop, but this guy's can box and he's got pop.
It's a good fight,
It's a good fight. I think now, if you did it, I think Keyshawn's probably got a little bit less experience, but I think in 1 or 2 fights, which is probably what it's going to be, because I think obviously Tank's already got Lamont Roach coming up. There's talk of him and Shakur. So, but I think Keyshawn's in that Davis v. Davis. That'd be interesting to.
Yeah. No, it's I'm trying to think who I'd want to see. Would you put him in with any of them? Yeah. He's, like I say, he's 25. Yeah. You put him in with any of them. I don't think he'd be scared to fight any of them.
I think he beats most of them, to be fair.
And
Murataya is a good fight.
Martin. Like I say, he's 25 years of age.
He could ruin, what's his name, Eddie Hearn's new guy, Cruz's career. But
yeah.
He could not ruin it, but like...
He's big enough to possibly move up the weight as well. So keep an eye on this kid, because I think he's going places. He's going to be in mega fights from now on, I think. I wouldn't want to drop his levels. I think it's only going to be
a challenger, world class level challenger.
I think
he's put himself there, because Berinchyk is whether it was good, bad, or other performance. Berinchyk is a world champion. So you're at that level. You're in that hat now of all the names, so you've got to be there. And he's exciting, so it's good to watch. It's entertaining, so it's not like a boring fight, is it? So and there's enough in that division. I think he's got enough to play with, and then he's capable of getting a few more belts and defending the belt. And then, yeah, I think the division above, as he grows into it in a few years, would be a good shout, isn't it? Because Tank's only got 1 or 2 fights left, and if he moves, then this whole division's open for him. Loma, as we said, was probably retired anyway. Shikori ain't going to fight, then the whole rest of them, I think he's got a good chance against. And he probably beats.
There's not a lot of... I just... We'll see. It'd be interesting to see.
Because I think age is on his side, isn't it? Like you said, he's on
age is on his side.
So to 1 or 2 years, and then you can move up to super, which we're going to speak about in a little bit anyway, the super lightweight division. So, but he's exciting. He's good to watch. He's entertaining.
Yeah,
and
he is.
There's a fair bit of his boxing talent there. He's got pop in his punches.
I'd get him back out in the summer.
Well, I think he needs to have a fight fairly soon because that wasn't really.
That
was a warm up.
Like I say, it'd be interesting to see who they put him in with next. Because they can go down. They can go down the route of an easy fight. But like I say,
would you know who's WBA mandatory is? Himself.
I can't.
He's the champion and the number one, and then Raymond Murataya is the number 2.
I just see him with, like I said before, he'll up his level if you give him the opposition. I think if you lower the opposition,
yeah, I think. But there's enough of there. Like Murataya is world class level. Well, potentially he's knocking on the door in all of them.
You say that, but some of these fighters in the division, i.e. Loma, they have 1 fight a year.
Well, him and Tank are only going to have like probably at the most 4 fights between them, 2 and 2 left. Tank's sort of given his like, I'm only going to do a little bit more. I think Tank's too small to move up. Loma's only going to do, if he comes back, 1 or 2 fights. I think that's it. He ain't fighting Shakur, so they're the 3 big names going. Then he's Zepeda's the only one really left. Then Murataya, Cruz, Frank Martin, and you've got Tevin Farmer. That's not a huge fight. The other ones are okay. Martin obviously got beat by Tank Davis, so it's a good measure of where you are as a fight. And you could probably make Murataya, like I said, is probably going to be the mandatory. Cruz is Eddie Hearn's guy, but he's only had 4 fights, so I don't think he would be ready to step up there. Maybe a fight the other way, but he's in the rankings. So yeah, there's a bit to do, but it'd be interesting to see who comes up.
Like you say, he's only 25, so he's got...
I think he needs to gain a bit more experience.
Lots of time yet.
You go up against the really, really good ones. They've got that experience. But he's definitely got the spark and the talent to be...
Oh yeah, he's definitely...
He's a tough fight for anybody.
Definitely one to watch.
Which is good. Exciting. It's another name to be added to that list.
But he's put a statement out. I'll give him that.
So from a really... Well, I think this was disappointing that Berinchyk wasn't good. Another sort of... was a interesting fight. Super lightweight between Jack Catterall and Barboza JR. What was your take on this?
Firstly, I had Barboza winning.
Okay.
But Jack Catterall really disappointed me. And I think he'll be going home knowing he didn't leave it all in the ring. Because I don't think he did leave it all in the ring.
Nope. Do you think that's all he's got, though? Are we like sort of... Because we've said it many, many times. Are we giving him more credit than what is there? What is there? I mean, it was a close fight and you can score it. I mean, I actually had Jack Catterall winning 7-5. Because I think he landed the more meaningful punches. But Barboza was definitely the busier and just kept on,
Thing with Jack Catterall is if you come forward at him, you're playing into him.
Which Barboza did in the first couple of rounds, and I think Catterall was winning the first couple.
And then
he worked it out.
If you go on the back foot against Catterall,
he doesn't know what to do.
No, he doesn't. And
that's what Barboza, they adjusted, didn't they? And then let him come on. And then because Barboza's got the reach, he was, he'd throw like a combo, right? He'd miss one or two, but he'd catch him with one and just the output.
Yeah, he just annoyed me, Catterall, through it. I mean, it was a boring fight.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. It wasn't
we did say it could be boring. I thought after the Prograis fight that Catterall might have a proper go, try and take him out.
Well, I think he loaded up his punches, but there just weren't enough of them. I mean, when he got his 1-2 going, it was quite good, and he'd have little moments, but it was like, say, 20, 30 seconds of a round, and then he would just go blank, and then Barboza would still be just like popping. I mean, but I don't think Barboza's shots were any pop in them, but it was touch, 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 touch.
But even in the 12th...
Miss, touch, miss, touch. And the 12th round, yeah, I thought he's going to go for it here, because it's close.
And he didn't.
No.
So...
He did a little bit at the beginning and then just ran. I'm
just disappointed with Jack Catterall. We picked him up, to be fair. Yes, he's not the most exciting boxer in the world. We know that. You know what you're going to get with him. But
after the Prograis fight, like you said, you thought he's understood more. That, like, you've got to, on this stage, you've got to produce something, because it's entertainment. You've got to entertain a little bit.
He's not going to, though, is he? And
do you think that's why the scorecards went that way? I think Barboza's got a bit more about him to...
Problem is
Barboza's busy. He doesn't like take...
I mean...
I don't think stylistically this was a great matchup, as we said.
No, but any fight you put Jack Catterall in is not going to be a great matchup, to be fair. It was only when he fought Prograis went after he started getting left, he really turned it on, and I thought he could do that again. He didn't look in great condition either, Catterall, I must say.
Did you think he was blown after about the 6th, 7th round?
Yeah, he didn't
the 7th round, I thought he was blowing.
It didn't look great.
And Barboza just looked like he was, sparring.
But, I'm not going to make excuses. I have Barboza winning. It wasn't a knockdown in my eyes either. Like I had it 115, 113, the same as the judges for Barboza.
Well, I had that for Catterall because I just like the better work. But when you look back at it, you go sort of see, because Barboza's so fast.
Looking online,
if you count his punches, it's
a lot. Most, I'd say 80% of people had Barboza winning.
Well, I think Catterall was.
I think you were
disappointing.
Yeah,
I think that's the disappointment of.
I mean, even after the fight, he wasn't jumping around celebrating like he'd won. He looked disappointed in himself, and he kind of should be, because that was his chance.
Yeah,
you've worked so hard. Look, maybe it's just one of them things where you can't beat Barboza. Barboza's the better man. That's fine. But
it didn't look like that. It looked like, because when he was getting through, it was good, but he'd only do it for like 30 seconds. And if you're going to pick a 30 seconds to do it in, it's the last 30 seconds if you want to sneak the rounds, because Barboza was just busier, but not like by a huge amount, by a little bit.
And all it does is it shows that, all right, if you're going to fight Jack Catterall, just go on the back foot, because he can't walk forward in it yet.
Yeah.
He really can't.
Because when he went on to him, he was better, and then returned, and then it just wasn't like...
So...
There.
I'm bloody frustrated with him. I really, really am. I really, really am frustrated with him. I don't know where he goes from here. Because, like I say, he's not a massive ticket seller.
Well, he just started to get it with the Prograis fight in Manchester, and then you've just killed it with that performance.
Like I say, he's not a massive ticket seller. He's a boring fighter.
Mm-hmm.
So who's going to want to fight him? Because even now, no one is going to want to fight him because he's not box office. Yeah, he's a bit awkward, and even if you beat him, what you gaining from him?
You're only going to fight him if you have to fight him.
You're not gaining anything from beating him.
And you've got to give Barboza credit. He's come into his backyard and done it.
Yeah,
and he was good.
Fair dues to him. Oscar De La Hoya will be, He
was just busier. It wasn't that like... landing the pretty even punches, isn't it? There's only 18 punches more to Barboza. And there's most of the rounds, there's less than 4 punches separating them. There's like most of the rounds are either equal 1 or 2 punches the other way. I think there's one round where Barboza had a lot more punches.
Barboza has to be a good boxer because he's got no power whatsoever. I'm telling you that now.
Well, I don't think he stepped on any. I mean, that's whether he hasn't got any power.
I don't think he's got power. He's a bit...
He was only touching it, wasn't even like
he reminds me a bit like Paulie Malignaggi. Fantastic boxer, but just no power, and you can walk through him. And I think that's the game plan. But like I say...
Well, that's why you would have thought Catterall can go forward.
But he can't.
Yeah.
He physically can't.
Well, no, but I mean, you should be able to.
He just can't.
Because Catterall has got the power.
But I just don't think Catterall can do it.
But I think he waits too much for the opportunity instead of just taking a risk.
No, but...
when you know the other guy can't knock you out, just go.
It's not about waiting. You set the traps.
Yeah. But did you see the bits where the opportunity would be there because Barboza's missed, like he'd swing and miss. He's moved well, but he wouldn't throw a punch.
It's like
even his corner was saying a little bit like, just let it go.
He just didn't.
Because you've got power, the other guy hasn't.
I don't know.
He's a disappointment.
Pissed me off.
I was disappointed at Berinchyk, but I thought that was still good because I thought Keyshawn's that good. This I was just disappointed. It's like a snooze fest.
Yeah. Like I say, you're always waiting for something to happen in Jack Catterall fights, and I'm getting to the point now where you have to go, nothing is going to happen.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. Do you think there is actually something there, or is that just our hope that, like, he looks like he's got other gears, but he doesn't know how to put it into the gear? Because
do you know what I'd do if I was him?
The opportunity was there.
Do you know what I'd do if I was him? If he really, really wants to make it, because he's only got one more chance.
Yeah.
Go off to America and get in the Bronx gym, the Wild Card gym, something like that, and go and spar hundreds of rounds with a load of Mexicans, Americans, Puerto Ricans, and learn how to fight on the front foot.
Yeah,
it's all, I get it, counter-punching's an art form, it is. But even Floyd Mayweather, he knew how to fight on the front foot.
He could do both. He just chose. He chose what to do. Not like, because you've seen here when they changed the tactics, Barboza just got him come in. He'd get like a couple of good punches, but
but you know what? Go and get...
Because he's talented enough to learn.
Go to America and just...
It'd be disappointing if he goes out on like that.
Go and learn how to throw more punches, whether it's a stamina issue or what.
Well, I've never seen him like even ruffled, but he looked tired there in about the 7th round, which is...
Yeah, but at the end of the fight, he didn't look that tired, and that's why I'm thinking, you haven't left everything in the ring here. You really, really haven't.
Well, I'm saying it's tired from the amount, because he only threw like 25 punches, I think, around on average, which is like nothing for a super lightweight. Barboza threw 36.
And please,
we weren't landing that many because both of the defenses are good. I mean,
just don't
there's
do
only,
the
let me
rematch,
see, right?
whatever.
There's 2 rounds where there were two sets of where they've actually got into double figures landed.
Yeah, I just think you're in the Manchester Arena or whatever it's called. You win this, your next shot is a world title. You've got loads of fans there. Go and put a show on.
And it didn't.
And you really, really, really didn't. And like I say, the problem for him, say he's on a 1-fight deal with his promoter. Who's going to want to promote him? Yeah, he's got a good manager in Sam Jones because he's got a massive gob. But would you want to promote Jack? He's a hard sell, isn't he?
Yeah. He's not box office.
He's a lovely fella. He really, really is. But he doesn't scream and shout. He's very well spoken.
To me, that I don't mind, but you've got to be able to, your hand's got to be able to do the talking.
He is a hard sell.
Like, even in the last round, he's popped. Like,
he is a great boxer. He's a great back foot boxer.
I think, you need to clarify that, because a great boxers can box in all ways. He's a great on the back foot, but when it doesn't work that way, so you need the aggressive person to walk onto. But when the other guys worked you out and then gone, because you can see it in the thing, it's about the third
that's
round.
What I mean. Is his next fight, they're just going to go on the back foot.
He doesn't know what to do. Just hit him the thing. Yeah.
But I tell you what, if you did that, you might as well stick Jack Catterall in that corner and the other fella in that corner, and they'll just stand there going. Because that's what I thought like Catterall was going to do at one point. Well, what do we do? Might as well just stand there.
Well, he did a bit of that in the 12th round. I think if he'd pulled the 12th round, he wins the fight. But he started it well, and he thought, he's come out.
Well,
landed a few punches, and then he just went round the ring.
It's a 1 round difference.
Yeah.
And all the judges gave the 12th round to Barboza.
Yeah.
If you win that round, you win the fight.
Yeah.
That's why I was screaming.
And he started good for 30 seconds, and then he just went round the ring.
Keep going.
Yeah.
And no.
And Barboza was just smarter in that he'd poke him, go into range, go back, get him to come in, and then boom, boom.
Yeah,
boom.
so I give Barboza all the credit. He went in with a great game plan, executed it brilliantly.
But I mean, I don't think he threw any. I think the reason he was so fresh is I don't think he put any. I think he just threw arm punches for everything. I don't think there was any power in it.
Because I don't think he's got
think there's one. I think there's about 2 good punches in the whole thing.
How many knockouts has he got? About 4.
He's a few.
Yes,
but they're probably right at the beginning of his career. I'll tell you. 11 by KO.
And how many fights has he had?
But let me just tell you them. That's 30 odd to his percentages. And
his percentage is rubbish.
Decision. Oh, he retired, but I think decision. Yeah, so it's about like 2019. He had his last. All right, there's a retirement, but a proper KO.
2019.
Yeah.
It's a long, long time ago, mate.
Yeah. Who's retired?
But fair play to him. Like I say, I can't take anything away from him. I thought he did brilliant. Coming to the guy's backyard, winning it on points, which is hard to do, let's be honest. And it was close. Sometimes it was really hard to score because it was just dreary.
We could score it either way, but it is only like you said, it's a 1 round swing basically. You could see a draw. You could do 7-5 either way. That's about it. Yeah. I don't think there's much more separating them. But I just think Barboza was just busier.
Yeah,
and
he deserves to win.
I think he fought at his pace rather than Catterall didn't fight at his pace. So yeah,
he deserved it. Don't get me wrong. The crowd, if Catterall won, would I think there'd have been a bit of controversy there if Catterall had won.
Well, I think they'd have come out and said, it's in his home backyard.
Yeah, and I get that. But
to be fair, like I said, I seen a 7-5 to Catterall, but that's because he was just heavier hitting. And obviously I prefer heavier hitting than the tap that Barboza was doing. But yeah, if you look at the pace, overall, if you look back at the fight, who controlled the pace? Other than the first 2 rounds, Barboza. When he adjusted, he basically, from the 3rd round onwards, it was fought at his pace, not Catterall's. And then when Barboza turned it on, like the 3rd round, I think Barboza won. Then the 4th, I think Catterall got back into it. But he'd only react after, like, Barboza have a good round. He'd up it a little bit, and then he'd decline it again. And then the 5th, 6th, then you see it go back, and then you're thinking, well, you've got to maintain it for a bit lower. And then he did, like I said, he looked tired, but looked tired from the point of view he wasn't throwing enough punches, applying enough pressure. So overall, if you look back and think he's come to his backyard, he's taken the thing, Barboza probably deserved it more than Catterall.
Damn right he did.
In a close fight. So, but there was, that's what it is. The question really is, has Catterall actually got any more? Because if he hasn't got any more than that, I don't think there's any point carrying on. Unless you've got something to do and you need to deliver it, not just having it. You've got to be able to deliver it.
A lot of people tipped him to be a world champion this year.
I think we were amongst them.
A lot of people have they chipped.
Because we thought he changed in his with the fight against Prograde that he'd learned that you got to do.
Like I say, it would be very, very interesting to see what's next for Jack Catterall. Very, very interesting.
And Barboza's is really because he's the mandatory now for the WBO, so Tio, but we don't know what Tio's going to do.
Well, Barboza's in a great position because he either fights Tio, gets a great payday, or Tio leaves and he gets the belt anyway. So he's in fantastic shape.
This side of sight, his win against Ramirez, nobody expected him to win. In this, he was the underdog. Nobody expected him to win, and he's gone to the backyard and he's done it. So you got to give him credit.
Yeah, so fair dues to him.
He's done what he needed to do.
Good on him.
And yeah, we'll see what happens there. And what else was there in there? That's about it. I don't think there's much more to say.
Yeah, it wasn't the best undercard either, to be fair, for either shows.
No. They're either like just, I think in this one they were all like one round, they were a bit one-sided fights. This is the most even fight of the two, innit? And then I think there was Oscar Duarte beating, he's in super lightweight to beat Madueno, didn't he? KO by round 7. Which was more exciting fight than all of these. But
the problem is that everyone's, even all the promoters, it's all about next week, isn't it?
It's hard to compete with next week.
Yeah.
So yeah, all our videos will be dropping on that. So I think we've already got the Bivol, Beterbiev and Co. So keep an eye out for them and, watch, like, subscribe.
Excuse me.
Yeah, hopefully they'll all be like better than the fights this weekend. Best performance, Keyshawn?
Oh God, yeah,
by a mile.
Yeah,
most disappointing. The better question: what's the most disappointing performance?
Jack Catterall.
Yeah.
The only reason being is, and like I say, I might be wrong, but I don't like it unless you should walk out that ring saying, I give it everything there. I left everything in there. And I don't think Jack Catterall.
If you'd left everything in there, I think, then you could say, okay, right, Barboza was just better. You get the feeling that because in his moments, he did have it, you just think, he didn't give it all there.
No.
It's harder to respect and like that. But we shall see. It'll be interesting to see.
I tell you what, I bet you the judges must hate watching Jack Catterall fights.
I don't think we're going to be watching. I don't think I want to be watching now. I might watch Barboza, but I was watching thinking, you've got your opportunity. You've been moaning about it. And then like you say,
we've bigged up Catterall, but
and he was favourite in this fight.
Oh, huge favourite.
Yeah, it's a thingy.
So there we go. We were wrong.
I think to be fair, both of them were a little bit of a shock. I think we had Keyshawn, and Keyshawn was the favourite, but I don't think not by that, not like that. And most people had thought it was going to be a close fight, but I think Catterall was the favourite to beat.
Oh yeah,
so
huge
I think
favourite.
there's upsets both of them really in their own way.
Yeah.
So from that point of view, it was interesting. But yeah, so we'd definitely be looking forward for Keyshawn. I'm not so sure about these two. I just park them and forget about who they are. Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What you think of the fight. What you think's of the Catterall Barboza Jr. What you think's coming up next for them. Keyshawn and Berinchyk. What do you think of Keyshawn? Was Keyshawn that good? Was Berinchyk disappointing? A bit of both. And what you think's coming up for them. And and keep an eye out for the super duper. It's the fight card of probably one of the best fight cards of all time, if not the best, in Bivol Beterbiev 2, and then all the fights that are coming on that.
I can't wait to see.
All our fights will be. I think we've dropped about half, and the other half will be dropping this week.
Can't wait to see what pyrotechnics they're going to come up with for this
show. We can't. It should be epic show, isn't it?
Yeah.
They seem to get better every one, which is the good thing as well. There's like a progression in every event.
We will see.
So, and he seems to be putting together some other events. So they're coming.
Just quick, I heard he's trying to do an event at Alcatraz.
Yeah. Well, that's the one. What's his name? Barboza said, didn't he? I think it's after the fight thing, where he said, "I'll fight Tio at Alcatraz."
Mate, that'd be amazing.
Because Tio's the one they're mentioning, isn't it? For one of the either a headline or co-headline event. Yeah.
Yeah, at Alcatraz. Wow. In the Bay.
Yeah. I think they're just And I think that's going to be either first or second Ring event. It's going to be Ring magazine event, which we still need to get our ones.
Very good.
You know, wink, wink, is your excellency just care to supply. Yeah, there's a few interesting events coming up, and we will be covering them, so keep an eye out for those. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. We shall see you in the next one.